If you thought Frankenstein was just a big green monster who goes, you are wrong. We open up the book with this captain who is writing letters to his sister while on an expedition. And it's like a lot of letters, like unnecessary amount of letters, but it comes back in the end. Okay, comes back in the end. He ends up out there finding Victor Frankenstein, who's pretty cold, freezing to death, looking for a monster. And he tells him his story, and he starts from when he's young, and he's like, listen, I was a boy obsessed with weird science, and his name was Victor Frankenstein. Vicky! And what is the thing that Victor loves second most to weird science? Elizabeth. This girl urchin, street urchin person that his mom found on the streets, who was like, look at this child. She's so gorgeous. I'm gonna adopt her. And from that moment on, he was like, she is mine. But also, so is weird science. So he goes off to university, and his teachers are like, why are you studying these old weirdos? Study these new guys. And eventually he goes back to the old weirdo, starts making his own monster, becoming an old weirdo himself. And he's like, you know what? This thing should be like 8 feet tall. The bigger, the better. Because a man is a man, right? But after he makes it, he realizes, oh, this is a mistake. I'm freaking out. It's in my house. And he's like, let me go on a little walk. And he sees his old childhood best friend. And he's like, hey, man, how are you doing? And the friend's like, I want to come in your house. And he's like, okay. And he's like, just got to clean up a little bit. And he goes inside, and the monster's gone. And he's like, oh, whoa, good. And he's not that worried. He's not like, damn, where'd that monster go? Hope it's dead. He's just like, not my problem anymore. Eventually, he's got to go back home because he finds out his little brother was killed and that his servant lady was wrongly accused for it. And while he is there, Frankenstein's monster comes up to him. He has no name, but he comes up to him and very eloquently is like, sir, if I can have a moment, I'd just like to tell you about what has happened since I left your abode. I have been watching the cottagers, and I fell in love with them, and then they saw me, and they hated me, and they hit me with sticks. And so now, good sir, I'm gonna need you to make me a lady companion, or I will murder everyone that you love. Can you comprehend? Icky. He's like, ooh, I'm pretty sure this guy killed my brother, so I think that this is real. I'm gonna agree, and I'm gonna make him his bride. And he's making the bride, and then before he can animate it, he's like, oh, but what does this do for society? How is this gonna, like, how? What's gonna happen? And so he can't do it. He's like, nope. And so the Frankenstein's monster comes up to him, and he's like, you bet that I will be there on your wedding night when you marry Elizabeth. Bet. And like, I'm telling you, he's like a really smart monster. He's not a dumb monster. He learned a lot of things about human stuff. He's also murdery. He's got the vengeance in his eyes, and he's like, I will be there on your wedding night. And sure as heck he is. And he kills Elizabeth, and he kills the father, and Victor's all alone, okay? He's not doing well. So then at some point, Vic is out in this cold Arctic area. He's like, I gotta kill the monster. And we go back to the captain's perspective, because he's the one getting the story, except he's getting the story in first person. I don't know. Anyway, Victor dies. And then the monster's sad. He's like, oh no, I'm sad. And Captain's like, you're not actually sad. You're just mad that you don't have a thing to hate anymore. Like, that's why you're not sad. And he's like, you don't know me. You don't know. I'm going to go throw myself in that fire pyre. And then Frankenstein's monster walks off to go kill himself. And that's how the book ends. We don't see the monster die. And so I'm guessing that at some point, Mary Shelley is gonna roll over in her grave, wake up, and write Frankenstein's sequel, because we didn't see the monster die. I know all the youngins are gonna hate that I did the side swoop bangs, but like, okay, are they too long? Don't be monstrous. Answer in the comments.